Okay, hey everyone. Um, Amazing crowd, by the way. Thank you all so much for coming all the way. We're basically, yeah, so I'm Ashvin, and over the next couple of, thank you. So over the next couple of, yeah, it's kind of like that NVIDIA Jensen Huang moment where he's kind of like standing in front of the crowd, and it's like Taylor Swift. Yeah, you guys are, it starts here. We'll be in the stadium one day, right? Okay, so yeah, over the next 2 hours, basically. I know it's going to be a bit of a bit of a long time, but hopefully we'll go through loads of activities. It's more of a workshop, so I see a bunch of you already have your laptops open. If you need power, by the way, that can be arranged. But yeah, basically, we'll be doing a bunch of activities where we're going through a bunch of different new marketing tools, especially what are the latest and greatest in the space. Especially the space that I follow particularly is like what the tech startups in SF are currently doing and how they're optimizing their marketing with the latest tools and gadgets, right? So we'll be going over a bunch of different tools today across image generation, video generation, slide design, video. Oh, wait, I said video. And most importantly, text. And I'll talk a little bit about why that's so important later. But yeah, let's do a quick intro. Let's see. Oh, it's that way. Okay. Oh yeah, if you haven't connected to the Wi-Fi, it's just 323A and Jumpa Lagi 324. If you guys don't have a laptop on you, by the way, you can use your phones for a bunch of these activities. I think most of them you can do on your phones. Yeah, and then in case you might need to peer over your peer's shoulder. All right. So yeah, my background, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cleve. We're running an AI content workspace, which has about 25,000 users around the world. And over the last 2 years, we've been building in public. So built a bit of a following, all of us in the team actually. So we've got Fao over here, Lizzie at the back, who's always recording content. We've got Rashad, who's debugging right now as we speak, because we just pushed some production code a few minutes ago. And then, oh yeah, and then we've got one more intern in the UK who might be joining on the live stream, Sophia. So she's been making amazing TikTok content. And in the last month, actually, all five of us actually went viral on at least one channel, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. So it was TikTok. I think Lizzie and Sophia went pretty viral on TikTok, Rashad as well, and then X, and then LinkedIn. Yeah. So it was kind of interesting. So I think one of the lessons learned from that is a lot of like marketing and social media, especially, does come down to a science, and it does come down to a couple copywriting fundamentals, a couple psychology fundamentals, actually, which is what triggers a lot of just because at the end of the day, social media and all this content creation stuff and marketing in general comes down to fundamental principles in human psychology. So if we're really, if like as we go through this session, I think we're going to touch on psychology quite a bit here and there. And that'll be basically the thing that grounds a lot of the principles and what we're doing today. So last year, I'll tell the story of basically how we built this LinkedIn Unwrapped project in 2 weeks, which then went on to hit 100,000 users in 4 weeks after we launched it. And we were just basically scrambling and putting that together. And then, yeah, and generally for me personally, I do a lot more growth and design within the team. We're all kind of like generalists in the team, but yeah, I really enjoy design and figuring out growth as well. So throughout the session, if you guys have questions, you can also just kind of like raise your hand, don't be afraid. We'll take a bunch of those questions like right away, and then like in some cases during the activities, we'll have a bunch of people also walking around and helping you guys if you get stuck. So just raise your hand. We want to make this as useful to you guys as possible. Yeah, is that cool? Great. Okay. I really like okay, this is my first time in a long time doing like a live workshop, by the way. It's so nice to see faces. Like webinars are like really demoralizing most of the time. Like you make a joke and everyone's like, or you don't see their face at all, right? So super nice, super nice. Okay, cool. So I think for business owners, how many of you here are business owners, by the way? Cool. Okay, quite a number. How many of you are aspiring? Like you want to start a business one day? Maybe. And the rest? No, I'm joking. So, how many of you here are looking for just picking up interesting skills or learning new knowledge? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, so for the context of today's session, I'm going to focus a bit more on a startup kind of context. So whether that's a tech startup, whether that's your own like side hustle or small business, we're going to look at a couple tools that you can use to just take your ideas and be able to build out MVPs, not in terms of products, but in terms of marketing MVPs today, right? And also, if you guys are working with other companies and you're working in marketing, there should be a lot of nuggets for you on how you use AI for a lot of this stuff. But yeah, a couple of the things, especially for business owners, when you're starting out, you're like a 1-person or 2-person team, it can be really, really hard to tackle all of the things that is involved in marketing. You've got social media content, and now you're expected to post like once a day on pretty much every channel. So that's like 7 posts a day minimum. And then you've got like landing pages that you need to create. So a lot of your, I mean, we've done a bunch of experiments on our landing page, and the moment you change your landing page, you can suddenly see a 20% increase in like the number of people who convert across it. So creating enough variations and experiments to test different kinds of landing pages can be really hard. So we can use AI for some of that as well. We'll be looking at how you make launch videos. I think, especially when you're launching a product or an idea, it's useful to kind of like come up with some content and some videos. Also, even on TikTok right now, like creating videos is just like quite time consuming and quite intense, but there are some tools that is useful. That's a duplicate because it's so important. Okay, and then we've got blogs as well. So especially for those who are in the B2B spaces, yeah, especially B2B. So if you're working with other businesses, having a blog can really drive a lot of traffic, especially for high intent searches and stuff like that. So creating enough blog content consistently, and product updates whenever you guys are updating anything in your business, whether it's like a cake shop and you've got new recipes or you've got new things coming out, you want to be able to update all your users. And, you know, especially for, let's say, for example, a single person who's running their part-time bakery business and they're trying to post content on Instagram to drive traffic to that. Keeping up with everything, especially when you're also fulfilling the orders and making all the cakes and stuff, can be really intense. So let's see how we can do this. And also, most importantly, you could already do all these things with AI really easily, like a year ago. But the big difference in the last year, especially, is the models have just gotten so good, right? And there's so much more improvements, especially in the context capabilities. The models are able to process lots more information. Well, sorry, I'll try to minimize the jargon, but like basically you can just tell it a lot of stuff and it's able to remember and retain a lot of information, including things like your tone, your writing style, the context of your business and stuff like that. Yeah. So a lot of what we'll talk about today is how do you maximize the capabilities of these models. And the big thing that I'll keep coming back to throughout today's session is this idea of, if you want to be creating all this content and stuff, the best way to be able to do all of this stuff consistently is start with documentation, right? Start with documenting your day-to-day. And where this is especially helpful is like, okay, so a lot of people think like, okay, creating 7 pieces of content today is like ridiculous. How do you cope with that? So, and where do you get these consistent ideas like every single day, right? Most of the insights that will create the most viral content or the most successful landing pages will come from a couple of these sources. So we've got meeting minutes. So pretty much all your meeting minutes with your team, meeting minutes with your customers. If you are documenting those things and being able to provide that to an AI model, there's a lot of useful insight there on exactly what are the pain points that the customers are talking about, exactly what are the objections that are shared. So you can tackle that in your marketing, whether that's in your landing pages or in your ads or in your UGC. Your content performance, every time you post something, that is a signal of whether this copy, especially the hook, whether this hook or this copy is useful and it relates to the audience. So one thing that we do internally is when we are trying to figure out what tests, like what hypotheses to put on our landing page, we would actually post every single version of our one-liner or our overview, and we kind of see which one resonates, right? So after you've posted like 10, and you see that out of 10, there were 3 that did like 300 views. There was 1 that did 2,000 views, and then there were like 3 that there was 2 more that did maybe 3,000 to 4,000 views, and 1 that just hit like 50,000 views. Then you have an indicator, right, from these 10 different messaging. That's the one you should probably, or maybe the first 2 are the ones that you should probably test, right? And then you can run more effective tests on your landing pages, your ads, your UGC and stuff, right? The other biggest and most important source that I tell business owners, I tell builders all the time, is your notes and your journal is the number one most important thing the biggest and most important asset that you have, right? Your notes are basically a detailed documentation of everything that you guys are working on. I write pretty much daily, and whether, sorry, is it going to be a Cleve plugin? It might be. But yes, I do journal in pen and paper, and then I also do write a bunch of notes on Cleve, which is my main note taking app right now. And we actually built it because, like, to solve this specific problem, right? Where there wasn't an easy way to kind of like turn the insights from your notes into all the marketing content, into product insights that are useful for your business, right? So your notes and journal are the most high quality and most useful piece of information that you can feed your AI models, right? You've got your user feedback, you've got your sales recordings, and then also for the technical guys, I've seen this really interestingly recently, where people are actually taking their GitHub PRs, and like this is kind of like code stuff, but like yeah, there's also providing that pull request, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it's some technical thingy. But basically, whenever you ship code updates, you can automatically the models are able to kind of like tell what you updated, and then that can also be part of your documentation, which then gets turned into your marketing content. So you can kind of really build this marketing engine, and we'll learn how to do that. We'll learn how to do that by the end of today's session, hopefully. Yeah. Well, let me just try switching mics. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna do a quick activity. So in your own ChatGPT accounts, I'm guessing everyone here uses ChatGPT. Yeah, okay, cool. So in your own ChatGPT accounts, can you just like try to prompt it, introduce myself and my work in a paragraph, and add some humor to it, like what you'd say at a party, and then just show that to the person next to you. Ideally, someone who you're not friends with. Yeah, and just get to know each other essentially. You can also just take a picture of this and then just send that to ChatGPT directly if you're lazy to type it out. Yeah. Oh, so that's the first fun fact. I think not many people know how good AI models are at processing text from pictures. So if you have, even for my journal entries, right, when I'm writing in pen and paper, sometimes I would actually just take a picture of that and pass it to ChatGPT, and it understands all my handwriting better than Lizzie would understand my handwriting. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That'd be for my focus.
Oh,
I might know. Yeah, it's too many people.
oh, seriously?
Yeah. We've overloaded the internet.
Oh, damn.
It's gonna be so funny.
I don't know how cringe this will be.
Yeah, that's I don't know what it is. I think the Wi-Fi itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna turn to the guy.
Okay, okay, okay. Hello, hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's connect to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, yes. I'll come back to that Wi-Fi slide. Oh, wait.
Oh, that was fun.
You can also prompt your friends' AI if you want to learn more about them. I haven't worked on the back slides yet. I only did the first 10.
Got my name.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Even you had a wow moment. That's cool.
Yeah, do a haircut.
I'm like, accuracy we will check, but
I build farms and boxes for a living. Okay,
I don't
that's
technically
pretty cool.
do it, but yeah, sure. I love doing it, you know.
Not bad. Not bad. Silicon access.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my data.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll see if we can reset the modem. Yeah. Oh, um, there's one over there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is interesting too. Are you actually interested?
Trying to like break people up.
That's like the second spot with Jay. So actually I'm still kind of exaggerated. I spend my days basically. That's my vision.
This is my good friend as well. So she runs a video agency, and she's also a singer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, wait, is that the right way? Oh, animation agency. Sorry, animation filmmaking business. Yeah, super interesting. This is Carissa. She's a SEO super like the best SEO person I know. Like super duper smart.
My friend who does SEO runs an SEO company.
Oh,
Yeah, so I was wondering like
she's with this company called. Wait, let me. Small company. Yeah. You guys managed to get it?
yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
We have something so it seems the price based on
All right. So, you guys good? All right. So hopefully that was a bit of fun. And you guys got to learn a little bit about each other as well. And in the process, also start learning that, fundamental idea. Oh, yeah. You guys good? Let's yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, basically the goal of that was to actually just kind of like give you a bit of a taste for some of you who haven't actually played around with these models. They are actually getting pretty good at picking up memories and picking up information about you as you're using them. Pretty much most AI companies already have like some form of working memory, and memory is kind of like this part of the AI models, which is actually the most interesting part right now, right? Because these models are able to really start learning more and more about you, about your work, about your companies, about where you're from, and stuff like that. So that brings us to basically the core topics that we'll be looking at in this session. So number one is like developing a marketing strategy with AI as a thought partner. So how do you use that concept of like, okay, now these models are able to learn lots of context about you. How do you take that and take it further, right, into using it as a strategic thinking partner? We'll then look at context engineering in marketing. So it sounds like a jargony thing. It's actually really simple. It's just basically putting in lots of context and useful documents and being able to reuse some of these documents. We will be using Cleve for this activity, and you'll get to see a bit of like how we're thinking about this as well. You'll also then see, so section 3 is where it'll be really fun. We'll be going through loads of different kinds of demos around image generation models, video generation models, etc. And then we'll wrap up with some live examples and demos. So loads of interesting stuff today. So first up, developing a marketing strategy with AI as a thought partner. So I'm going to use the LinkedIn Unwrapped campaign that we did last year, the one that went from 0 to 100,000 users. And actually, most of the strategy for that campaign, because we were hard pressed on time, we generated it with ChatGPT. So the exact execution, so we were actually just kind of like slaves to the model, and the model was the one telling us exactly what to do. So I'll show you exactly how we prompted it and how that came to be. So in December 2024, it was the 5th of December already, and we were kind of like scrolling our phones, and we were like, oh, this Spotify Wrapped thing, everyone's posting about it today. That sounds like something useful. I mean, it sounds like something interesting, right? Like, and everyone was sharing it, and it was driving lots of traffic to Spotify. And then at the time, we were kind of like behind our revenue targets. And we were like, hey, we should do something crazy this month to try and hit that. And Spotify, they had basically 9 months to prepare for their Wrapped campaign, including iterating on the designs, figuring out the copy, exactly how they're going to do it. And here we are sitting at this mamak on the 5th of December, being like, could we try? Could we do this? So we really had to launch in December because nobody does Spotify Wrapped in January.
Yeah.
Right? Like so Spotify Wrapped, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like Spotify will look at all your data of all the things that you've been listening to and show a really nice like slideshow of your music listening that year. Yeah, so we decided to do it. So on the 5th of December, we started brainstorming and working with ChatGPT to kind of like come up with a fundamental strategy. On the 10th of December, before we even had the product, we started like building hype on LinkedIn with some mockups and building our waitlist and our landing page. On the 11th to 18th December, yeah, we just still continued building hype. We actually wanted to launch on the 15th, but then like it was actually way more technically hard than we thought to build something that takes a multi-billion-dollar company 9 months for some reason. I don't know. We felt it would be easy. But yeah, 18th of December, we finally launched. And then on the 21st of December, we had like 3,000 users trying it out. And everyone is like, the biggest thing is we weren't sure that people would actually share it, and the whole virality depends on whether someone shares something, right? But surprisingly enough, in the next couple of days, we went from 3,000 to 30,000 users. And then subsequently, after the Christmas break, we had 100,000 users who did their LinkedIn Unwrapped. And if you Google LinkedIn Unwrapped right now, like it's kind of like filled with all these like things that people generated. So this is basically what we created. It was kind of like we used AI to analyze the LinkedIn content for their entire 2024, and then we made like I think it's a 12 slider, kind of summarizing their year, right? In this really nice visual data analytics kind of format. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was the first time that we actually made something viral. And the secret is ChatGPT. So this is the exact prompt that we sent to the model. Basically, what is it? Yeah, last year on the 5th of December. So after this chat at the Mamak, we were like, okay, let's start tinkering with this. So I said, well, actually, I think Lizzie sent this. I want to do a My Year Wrap project for Cleve, where we launch a feature that allows people to look back at their LinkedIn from the past year. So we basically Spotify Wrapped, right? Not just quantitative data, like how many posts they posted and viewership, but more on the qualitative data, like what they experienced this year, what are the emotional things, what are the wins and challenges, problems they solved from the content they posted. So we had this rough idea that we talked about, right? That we discussed, and then we just gave that to the model. And then we also said, oh, I want this campaign to go viral, like how Spotify Wrapped did it. What are the elements needed to make it go viral? Analyze and break down Spotify Wrapped and other viral campaigns, name any, right? So this section is actually the part where I see a lot of people when you're using ChatGPT for the first time, you tend to try to get it to output the thing that you want right away. But the first thing that you should do before you do anything is use it as a learning tool, right? Try to, you as the human, learn from the model first so that you can make an educated guess and build taste and build an understanding of like what's needed before you even look at the outputs. Because if I just asked it, hey, plan out the entire campaign for me, like I wouldn't be able to even assess this, like whether this makes sense, because I've never done a viral campaign before, so I can't judge, right? So when you start guiding the thought process of the model with something like this, then you can start getting content that's like this. So we had personalization at scale. So what Spotify does is it makes it very clear that it's personalized and everyone's Wrapped is different. There were certain things like the emotional connection, shareability. So these are kind of like the gamification and bragging rights. So these are some of the fundamental psychological principles we knew that we now knew that we needed to implement in the product for it to actually go viral. Right. And then also like element of surprise. And then it included some details about why it works, how Spotify Wrapped does it. So another thing that I see people doing with ChatGPT and these AI models is they just kind of like prompt it, gloss through it, and then like, okay, done. Right. But what you really want to do is spend some time, like slow down, like don't continue prompting and prompting, slow down, try to process and deeply understand the thing that the model is telling you, because you want to internalize that knowledge first. Again, so use it as an education tool first before you try to get useful output out of it, right? So then the next thing we did was we started brainstorming some of the slides. So another key idea here instead of saying, hey, make all the copy for all the slides. Like, so in Spotify Rap, they have like, oh, you listen to Taylor Swift as your #1 musician this year, right? So we had a bunch of ideas, which we actually brainstormed as a team. And then we just wrote down the whole list of ideas first, right? So these are our own ideas. And then we said, hey, here are some things I'm thinking about including in the Year Wrapped project, in the same chat, by the way, so it has the context of the psychological triggers and strategy. So here are some things I'm thinking about including, add more to it. So that add more to it, LLMs and AI models are great at extending your thinking. So rather than expecting the model, if you have ideas, rather than expecting the model to come up with great ideas, provide your great ideas first, and then it'll extrapolate, right? And it'll try to build on those ideas that you've had initially. So in this case, we wrote a bunch of ours, and then when the result came out, I'm not sure if I added that. Yeah, I did. So when the result came out, it was a lot more aligned to the stuff that we actually wanted, right? So you can seed. They call this seeding the model, but you can seed the model with some initial data based on your conversations, right? And then that's also another way that you get way, way, way better outputs out of these things. So in this case, it was like your most viral post this year received 12,345 views and 500 reactions. So that exact copy, I think we used something similar to that in the actual post, in the actual slides. Your fastest growing post gained 100 likes in 2 hours. Yeah, we didn't actually use that. So you as the human also evaluate everything that it's saying. You can tell the model that, hey, I liked this point, this point, this point, and this point, but I didn't like the rest. Can you, based on this, can you extrapolate again? Right? So go through that iterative process of extrapolating based on so you had your seed information, and now you've got a bit more that is useful, and then extrapolate again, and then you get even more stuff. So this is, of course, this is a very specific example for what we wanted to build, but this whole idea of seeding a model and extrapolating is something that's generally quite useful, right? So in our case, what we did after that was we started building a landing page and building a wait list. So we wanted to do this as soon as possible. So we did a very scrappy, quick landing page. All you really need is a place for people to put their email and a place for people to say submit, right? And a headline. So you do those 3 things, you can start building wait lists for any kind of product that you want to launch, any kind of idea or business that you want to launch. Like start with a wait list, because then you can also start assessing demand. You can start seeing if people are even willing to put in their email into something. Right? So we did this for 2 weeks before the actual launch. And then we designed the actual slides for the wraps, built it with Cursor and Next.js. At the time, that's kind of like all we had. Nowadays, actually, the AI coding space has been totally transformed. And now even people who are not technical can actually build really cool landing pages, which we'll show later. But yeah, you can kind of like build a lot of cool things. And yeah, this is basically us hacking in my room. And yeah, then we launched. And then we used Cleve for a lot of the writing for all the posts, and then like to post basically twice a day. Fun fact about social media, they do not really penalize you for posting more than 1 time a day. You can actually just post, or even like 7 days a week. You can post like even twice a day, every day. And another fun fact is like, even if you missed a couple days, it doesn't matter. Just like you can just post anytime, and it'll kind of be fine. So yeah, this is my account alone, did 195,000 impressions during that month. But then, yeah, we had a bunch of impressions from all the users who posted their unwraps. So in total, we estimate about 30 million impressions from this whole campaign. Yeah. So again, key ideas from what we just shared just now on using LLMs for your marketing strategy. Number 1, guide its thought process. So rather than like just having it generate, try to be the person in the driving wheel, right? You drive the model, not the other way around. Contrary to my metaphor just now. And suggest your own ideas, have it build on them. So seed the model, give it some ideas first, and then extrapolate. And then again, once it's generated those ideas, repeat that. Stay in control as the CMO and have AI behave as a consultant working with you on a project. Now, one thing I see a lot of people do is they say, oh, ChatGPT is like my intern, right? When you treat ChatGPT as an intern, like for drafting emails and stuff like that, the extent of its capabilities will be limited to being an intern, right? So the way that I found it to be a lot more useful is like get it to behave as a consultant to you. And then you'll be surprised by the kind of outputs that these models are actually capable of doing, because they actually have so much more knowledge and understanding and nuances about a market right? Just yesterday, I was delivering a similar workshop to a group of what's it called, startup founders in Africa. So in Kenya specifically. So they were working on things like solar farms, and they were working on like, yeah, so basically building solar farm businesses, and other kinds of African specific businesses. And I would kind of like just take their business website, drop it into ChatGPT, and be like, hey, can you do a detailed market analysis for both the African markets and other countries? Like, what are the main competitors that these guys have, or examples that they can draw from? And then, yeah, and these models basically know a lot more than you think they know, for the kinds of use cases like that as well. Cool. So what we're going to do is a quick activity. I'll show you how. I'll do a live demo first, and then you guys can kind of follow along while we're doing the demo. But yeah, we'll try to build a brand strategy for your own brand. So for those of you who don't have a business or have an idea right now, you can just kind of like pick any brand. You can pick us, like you can pick Cleve, and just kind of like try to do the exercise, or any brand that you like. Like let's say, for example, I don't know, what's a nice berry juice company? Okay, that was too niche. That was too niche. I don't know. I kind of feel like berry juice right now. Let's see. But yeah, any product that you love that you like to use, whether it's Apple or maybe not Apple, it's too big. Something Malaysian ideally. But yeah, just feel free to pick a business or pick an idea, and then we'll go through this. We'll go through this exercise together. Okay. Oh, before we do that, any questions so far? Yeah.
Yeah, Ashvin, are you just biased towards ChatGPT, or are you open to any other LLMs as well?
Oh, just because it's the most widely accessible one. So my first few examples will be there, but I'm very much biased to my own product. So, okay, cool. So let's. But ChatGPT is a pretty good model. I mean, in reality, I think, people talk about comparing different models and stuff. The reality is, for most things, most models are pretty much on par with each other. Yeah, other than for more niche use cases. Okay, cool. So we're going to basically just drop a link. Let me take, oh yeah, Farm Fresh, right? Oops. So let me take Farm Fresh. Pull. Oh, that ASMR typing is quite nice. Okay, so here's some details about Farm Fresh. So you can kind of like basically just, oh, by the way, another thing about prompting, you really don't overthink prompting. Context is a lot more important than prompting, which we'll talk about later, but like, just talk to it like a human. So Farm Fresh website, full information about the company. So then it's just got a bunch of details about this company, right? So for your own website, let's say you're working on, say, Supa. Let's see. I don't know, just a random company, like, not that I know anyone who works there. Copy link address. So yeah, you can take pretty much any business, and then just drop it in here, and then be like, hey, extract the copy from this website and gather additional info. Yeah. Oh, another thing, people tend to be really careful with spelling, but yeah, these models are phenomenally good at spelling, like understanding really bad spelling. So, did you mean Supa? Yes, I did. Here's what I extracted from the site. Okay, so empowering AI with human expertise. Yada yada yada. Okay, cool. Yeah. So here you can see it now has context, right? So it has context about your business, whatever business you're working on. You can just drop your website. You can also drop like, your LinkedIn profile. Okay, you guys can hear me, right? Okay, so you can also drop your LinkedIn profile as well, and it'll be able to just pull information. So if you're working on something for your personal brand, so let's say, for example, yeah, I'll just do another example here. So linkedin.com/in/Ashvin Praveen. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I didn't actually give any context, but yeah, it's just gonna. So yeah, it's just like that. You can also already start getting a summary. Who's that? Oh no, that's in my testimonials. So Yeah, he should be there. So you can see some really interesting niche knowledge. Like for example, Cleve launched a feature called LinkedIn Unwrapped. 100+ countries, announced a workshop focused on building marketing landing pages fast with AI. There you go. That's exactly what we're doing right now. So yeah, it's pulled some of my recent LinkedIn posts as well. And yeah, and then now you can kind of like do the next step. So what I would recommend you do is put in this prompt, like write a really detailed brand and marketing guide based on this. Okay. Oh, so write a detailed brand and marketing guide based on this. I mean, you can put any variation of that. And it'll be pretty interesting. So this is where you can start getting some interesting context, right? So do this. You can do the same prompt, whether it's for a LinkedIn profile, whether it's for like a website and stuff, and you'll get a pretty interesting brand guide. So you'll get things like your brand identity, what's the essence. This is also especially useful for people who are trying to figure out their voice online. Like they have all these ideas and stuff, and they don't know how they're perceived. So you can kind of like see how AI thinks about you and your brand, right? So here you can see it's got like a brand identity, brand essence, positioning, audience strategy. So you can do this as we're going through this together. And then yeah, and then you can start to get a sense of this stuff. I would also recommend adding on things like, can you also add like some tone of voice reference based on this person or this brand? Like what kind of tone, yeah, what kind of tone is used? But yeah, you can see it's already actually got some of that stuff down. Yeah, so you can do that for your brand and you can just try tackling that. And if you've got extra time, you can just try doing it on different ones and reading the outputs to get a sense of like what these models actually understand. Oh. Thank you. Yep. So a couple of us will. Oh yeah. So yeah. So just drop the link and then write a detailed brand and marketing guide based on this. So again, from the session earlier, your goal here is to learn, right? Learn what AI thinks about your space. Oh, I can make it bigger. There you go. Okay, if anyone didn't catch that just now.
Did you use web search for this or just straight?
Oh, so ChatGPT will automatically switch on and off. Yeah,
Oh,
web search.
good.
If it sees a link, it'll run the web search. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's literally me every day. Like that's a lot smarter than I thought it was. Yeah. So as you guys create that first variation, like that first brand and marketing guide, give it feedback. Like if you don't like what you see, if you think that this is totally off, tell it this is the part that was off. Can you rewrite that for me? Because what we're doing ultimately here is we're building a core reference, right? And we're gonna use this brand guide over and over again, even through the rest of the session, to have the model consistently pay attention to this. So make sure that you're iterating on it until it's really good. Yeah. Am I? You doing okay over here?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone good over here?
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's a bit tricky to see this screen. If you need to, you can also join the live stream. And that's where you can also get the same. Oh wait, I've also sent the slides in. Where did I send it? Oh, I sent it together with the live stream blast. Yeah. So if you open your email, you should see the slides as well.
Oh.
Oh wait, but this is a demo, so it wouldn't be on the slides. But... Oh, perfect. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's another one there.
But I'll fix it up.
If anyone's having any challenges or has any questions, you can just raise your hand and I'll come over as well.
Doing this and creating our own custom GPT.
So to be honest, it's not too different.
Using
Yeah, but the custom GPT means you can reuse the same material over and over again.
and this one we get to keep on updating it. Like
Yes. Oh no, but
refining it.
so it would be best to continue doing it in the same chat first. So once you get the output, you copy and paste that output into the custom GPT, right? And then the custom GPT now has access to your messaging and all this stuff, and then you can use the custom GPT for creating more stuff.
Okay, meaning to say we get to constantly update the custom GPT, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the custom GPT, you can update it regularly based on new information or insights about your business. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problems. Feel free to join any of the groups as well. Then you can also kind of like exchange ideas. And, yeah, sure. Yeah. I just noticed you. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks so much for coming.
Basically, it's I brought a friend.
Oh, cool. Hello, Ashvin. Nice to meet you. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So what I just do with these is
Yeah, so at this point, basically, after you've got your initial strategy and guide, if there are gaps in it, you can kind of like give it feedback. Or if you want to extract more knowledge,
I do.
yes. Yeah, and you can also build upon it. So you can ask it to, hey, can you go deeper into this specific point? And then make sure that it's giving you the best brand guide possible that really represents you or your brand.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why he said like slow down and read everything. I know that.
So guys, after you've created, I think most of you have already created the initial brand guide. So after you've done that, just evaluate it, give it feedback on what you think made sense, what didn't make sense, or what could be changed. And then also try to get it to the point. Oh, and then you can also dive deeper into specific points. So let's say, for example, it give you a high-level marketing strategy or something like that. Try to go way deeper, like prompt it to build upon this and go into more detail.
What if you don't have complaints of the things they need?
What if you don't?
What if you don't have complaints on the things?
Complaints? Then go
Yeah.
deeper. Learn more.
Right.
Yeah. So try to expand it. Yeah. So any areas that you think are still vague, because this is going to be like the key reference, right? That you're going to reuse over and over again. So
Right.
any things that are still kind of vague right now, try to go like get it to expand on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it necessary survey to specify like the role for ChatGPT to say like maybe personal budget?
Oh, good question. I'll take that publicly. Yeah. So really good question over here. Is it necessary to set a role for ChatGPT? Like, oh, you are a brand strategist or a personal branding consultant with 18 years of experience, worked in MNCs before, exited two startups in the past, right? So you don't really need to give that much detail anymore. You can, okay, one thing that you can do is like, hey, can you evaluate this? Like evaluate this brand strategy and give me feedback as an experienced consultant. But honestly, even nowadays the models are so smart that you used to need to do that. But nowadays they will kind of know what role that they need to play when you give them a task. And they will try to just push the maximum expertise on that. But if, for example, what I would do usually is I would just say, write me a brand strategy. And then I would then say, hey, can you go more specific and more technical and go deeper into this? And then it'll naturally assume the role of a more proficient brand strategist. Yeah, so you don't necessarily need to use that prompt anymore. Yeah, if you want to expand on it, then you just say, hey, I want this more deeper and more technical or something like that. Yeah, but no specific prompting, right? It's just the thinking. It's just a line of thought, right? Yeah.
Right. So eventually you'll pick up and then become a brand strategist.
On the onset, the moment you ask it for things nowadays, it'll just automatically assume the role that it needs to play. Yeah, the models are pretty good now. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, because of how quickly AI has been evolving, there's a lot of advice about how to use ChatGPT effectively from a year ago, which is totally irrelevant today, actually. What I would highly recommend is, as you're using the model, question whatever assumptions that you've learned about it before. Just try to do things, and you'll start learning more and more about what the models can or cannot do. Yeah, and where they are limited. Yeah.
Here that something that was like kind of really lucky. But I gave it feedback and then I told it like, okay, I think that there's a lot of things to change. Ask me like proper clarifying questions before like giving me new feedback, right? So like basically I was giving it feedback and then I went, there could be a positioning change, and then asked me like 5 of the most important clarifying questions.
Oh, cool.
And like feed me with it. So then it's like, okay, which one actually works?
Oh yeah, so really good one from Lagita over here. So one tip is, after you've got your initial brand strategy, you can ask it to ask you, like, what are 5 good clarifying questions, like 5 clarifying questions to get more insight from me about my brand, about the things that I'm doing.
So
Right.
you might agree, but not 100% agree.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, let's see which one fits better. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you just respond to that and like answer the questions and then send that back to the model and ask it for a revision. Exactly like working with an actual consultant, by the way. Okay, cool. So now that you've got that, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna copy this. Whoa, that's really long. Okay, yeah. So we're just gonna copy this, and what we're gonna do is okay. Actually, yeah. So that's gonna be your core reference now, right? So now, whenever we work with any AI models after this, we're gonna just keep that copied in a clipboard, and then we're gonna reuse that over and over again, right? So we'll come back to this section. Cool. So yeah, at this point, you've kind of learned that, okay, yeah, so the models are pretty smart. You can do a bunch of interesting things with shaped answers and then like build a really core set which represents you. So every time you want to prompt the model, you can just provide this context, copy and paste it, and like, okay, now today I want to work on a specific campaign, right? Make sure that you pay attention to my existing brand strategy, right? So as long as you're providing that context, you will get things that are a lot more aligned with what you're trying to do. Okay, so next step is, okay, how do you take this context? And is there a better way than like copying and pasting all the time, right? So we talked about this whole idea of like, so you've provided a bit of context right now, which is just your website or your LinkedIn profile. So how do we add more context, right? And then how do we get this to be a continuous funnel to drive your execution? Because instead of you, every time, for example, you need to copy and paste your context, go to ChatGPT, here's my brand strategy, and then like now I'm trying to work on this specific thing. What if the model already had access to your notes? It knows what you're working on, right? It knows all these things that it knows your meeting minutes, it knows your PRs and stuff like that, right? So it has all this context. You can kind of just jump straight to execution, assuming it has all this knowledge about you, right? So we're gonna be talking about this documentation bit, and this is really the core of like vibe marketing right now. So what I would like highly recommend everyone do is start building a marketing workspace, just like how you have a coding workspace for the developers in your room, right? You have one space where you have folders where you save your brand guide, the one that you generated just now. You have your tone reference, you have your past posts, right? All your past posts in one place as well. You have your, let's see what else, all your notes, right? From all your business reflections, your ideas, things like that, right? And if you keep all of that in a single, basically this is like the folders. So you keep them in different folders. And then you have all your notes over here, kind of like Apple Notes. By the way, does anyone use Apple Notes here? Yeah, okay, a couple. Yeah, so basically very similar layout to Apple Notes on the desktop. And then this is kind of like when you click into something here, you get the note itself. And then on the right side, you have your chat, which is like the AI model that has access to basically everything. And you can interact with it, and it already knows all these things about you. So you don't have to keep prompting it over and over again. And yeah, this is basically the thing that we built, right? So you can add folders for your sales scripts. This is for people who are especially in the software space or actually in general, like when you're doing sales, right? So you have all your sales scripts in the same folder. You can regularly reference those things, and anything in general that you want the model to know about you, you will want to be able to keep it here. Okay, so document everything, and then we'll show. Oh, and then let's see. But yeah, very similar to how you might use Cursor, Windsor, Family Gravity. So this is something that I learned as I was starting to learn coding recently, where all the developers, they actually have kind of a documentation. Usually they might create a marketing folder, basically very similar to how we did that just now. And they would put all the files of their different notes and things that they want the model to reference regularly. Usually this is related to coding. So like, hey, make sure the code has this level of quality, and that drastically improves the output of the model, right? So we're going to do that same concept in marketing instead. So I've written down here a couple ideas for key documents that you can generate and save. So brand strategy is the one we generated just now. So you can copy that from ChatGPT if you'd like. You have your customer profile. So for all businesses, right, the most important thing about marketing is knowing who your customer is. So you want to have your customer profile detailed, as detailed as possible in that brand guide. You want to have your tone reference. So this is like past things that you've written that you wanted to refer to. So keep that in the same folder so you can regularly access that. Campaigns, pitch variations. So if you're doing a lot of pitching, you may want to save all your scripts from your different pitches. So you can also reference that, and things like your meeting notes and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to go through another demo here. And for all of you guys, let's see. Okay, so for all of you guys, you can basically just head over to Cleve.ai. Oops. Okay. Whoa. Oh, wait. Okay, that was because of the mic. Our website didn't crash, it was the mic. Yeah. Okay, so we got, okay, let's see. So get started for free. And then just, oh, okay, in my case, I'm already signed in. If you haven't already done the onboarding process, it's like a 3-minute thing. You can click skip onboarding if you get stuck, but then you land on something like this, right? And actually for this workshop and for all the marketing materials that you've seen leading up to this workshop is all generated here in the same workspace. So also, yeah, and actually a couple of those posts actually hit like, I think we did in total nearly 70,000 impressions across all the posts leading up to this workshop, right? So yeah, so quick demo. So let's say, for example, over here, I've got, okay, in this case, yeah, I've got the documentation of like this event. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new chat. I'm just going to drag and drop this note. Oh, okay. Wait 1 second. Yeah, so I'm just going to drag and drop this note over to the context, over to the chat. Okay, cool. Yeah, sharing. Thanks, guys. So now you can see that over here, it says that, okay, I'm referring to your Vibe Marketing Workshop document. It's like, write an opening script, basically. Oh, thanks. So write an opening script to launch the event. And yeah, basically on top of referencing this specific node, that, for example, in your case, you could have written the brand strategy and have it reference that. And then you can reuse this and like in the model. Oh yeah, select your model. So in this case, I'm using Claude Sonnet 4. So to your question earlier on like which model do I like, the one I use the most is actually Claude Sonnet 4, which is really great at writing, like really high quality writing. Okay, and then yeah, so now you can see, okay, I'll create an opening script, blah, blah, blah. And where's the script? Oh, there you go. Okay, it actually added it to the bottom of this document straight away. So it appended it here. So it saw that I was already working on a document, like an overall document for my event. So instead of actually showing the script here, it directly added it to the document. So now I have like, I can just kind of read this prior to the event and like have all the context that I need, right? So that's the key idea here. And we're going to just do another example. So let's say we start fresh. And when you onboard on Cleve, you'll need to provide like your LinkedIn and like your emails and stuff like that. But what that does is it allows the model to have lots of context about you. So I can actually, instead of dropping the link and stuff, I would say, hey, write me a brand guide about, about myself. And it has access to my LinkedIn. It has access to all these details about me. And straight away, it'll be able to produce that. I can then kind of copy and paste this into the note. And that'll be saved in my documentation. Right, so I can reuse this over and over again. So it'll take a bit of time because it's being really thorough with this, but very similar to how you did it with ChatGPT just now. It'll do something similar. So in this case, it's actually also searching my notes to learn more about me. Over here, I've got pretty much about 2,000 plus notes saved over the last 2 years, right? So these are all my business reflections, they're all my workshops, events, stuff like that. And the model will basically be able to read everything, find the most relevant things, and then append that for the context, right? So we talked about that whole idea of like bringing in context. So now it is, okay, doing the last step of actually like creating the brand guide. Right. Come on, you can do it. Almost there. Oh yeah, there you go. I knew it would work. So here you go. So personal brand guide, Ashvin Praveen, and then like current platform overview, Instagram, 1,600 followers, bio. So it has some ideas about, across my Instagram and my LinkedIn actually, and my website. So it knows that, okay, I openly share my journey, including failures and lessons learned. It also references everything that it finds. So you can actually find the original source. And then here, for example, okay, so it included some of my philosophies. Oh, by the way, this is like super small for you guys. Yeah, so included some of my philosophies around what I believe in, how I call out AI launches are all just hype and a waste of time. Okay. So that was actually something that I said in one of my recent posts. And yeah, it would basically try to come up with this detailed understanding of who I am. So every time I'm working on a piece, right, when I ask it to, hey, can you reference my brand guide? It will just reference the brand guide without me having to copy and paste all the time, right? So I can do that for a bunch of different things that I'm working on across, like, for example, this is another example where we had, oh yeah, so our Cleve folder. Oops. Oh, there you go. So in our Cleve folder, we've got like some updates of things that we were working on. So yeah, let's say I want to work on a product update email to all my users. From that meeting minutes, I can actually, which I took as notes, I can actually also just ask the chat, hey, draft an update email. Whoops. Whew. Spider senses. So draft an update email based on my personal brand guide for our users So the other thing is, whenever you have a piece of writing or a note open, the chat has context of whatever you have there. So you don't need to kind of like drag and drop if the writing is right open. Okay. So yeah, on your own laptops, you can now kind of like try to open just Cleve.ai and like paste in your brand guide, and then try to ask it to write some posts for your go in more write yeah. For example, you can ask it to write a post about something that you did recently. Yep. So if anyone is having challenges with that, so we'll have the team walk around the room as well and help you out as well. Oh yeah, for those of you who are on your phones, you can also just use the Cleve app on your phone. It does the same thing. So you can just copy and paste the brand guide, and then like also it'll have context of that note. Do we have any questions, by the way?
I have a feature request.
A feature request, okay. Yeah, shoot.
How cool would it be if, like, say, if I could program, say, download, like create posts for me, like LinkedIn posts for me, and then I'll come back like a few hours later and they have like sample posts already done based on my notes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So
you guys are the LinkedIn guys, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Right now, what you can do is you can just like ask it to create a bunch. I mean, it doesn't really take a few hours, or do you mean like a lot of posts?
I mean like based on all my notes.
Yeah.
I come back and then it already has like posts lined up for me that I could just choose and put on LinkedIn.
Oh, like okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Feature requests.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. We could definitely explore that. Yeah. Cool. Okay, but yeah, we'll spend a bit of time. Like you can tinker around with like starting to create some posts as well for your personal brand and for your work. And then like if you're not seeing results that you think are good, for example, you can just give feedback to the model, ask it to update your brand guide, and tell the model, for example, hey, I didn't like this. Is this? Can you update the brand guide according to this and make sure that you understand me better? Yeah. But automatically, the model should be able to adapt over time as well.
I want to address some people are using it on mobile. It's a little bit different. I want to address that.
Can this connect to Canva, something like that?
So
Or you just give me an ideation.
right now for carousels and stuff, it like yeah, it would be for writing the script, like the idea for the Canva. But we are actually working on a feature that allows you to just create the post directly.
Yeah, because that's the one that takes most of the
Interesting. So you're creating lots of like carousels right now. Okay, okay.
carousels and also training content. Because I'm a
Ah,
creator.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay. Interesting. On LinkedIn as well? Or on Instagram mainly so far?
Post fast. I try to Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, I think that's a good idea. But yeah, like right now, what you can do is, especially if you're making Instagram videos, which is the highest performing format right now, you can create all your scripts with Cleve. And then from the scripts, when you generate it, it'll be in your tone and stuff like that. And then you can also then read that out and make your videos a lot faster. Yeah, and you can use that same. So the videos will typically, especially if you take your corporate training sessions and then you cut it. Sorry, if you repurpose your existing corporate training content, for example, in Cleve, you could literally drop the entire notes from your corporate training programs and then say, hey, can you draft like 4 or 5 ideas of what we could write about, right?
So I can upload the whole deck inside.
Right now, it doesn't support decks, but if you have any text-based document, well, we are working on decks actually in the near future. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But if you have any,
Like, usually
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. One thing you can do is a workaround is you upload the deck to ChatGPT, ask it to extract all the text inside this deck, and then just copy and paste that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Yo, yes.
So what do I do after I paste the brand guides?
Yeah.
Post or
So you can post it if you want, but that'll post directly on your socials. Oh, it'll actually post. Yes. So what you can do here is you can just be like, hey, can you draft me a post and create it in a separate note.
Oh, right. So
Basically.
it's based posts on this.
Yeah, but you don't need to say that. It'll automatically know that. Yeah, it's based on this. Basically, exactly like your code editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for notes. Yeah, I'm guessing you're using Cursor or yeah. Cool. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm basing it off of like a side project I made.
Oh, sick.
It basically gathers mood data from songs. You just type something in, and it basically gets a color palette and adjusts the mood for it. I never did anything more with it. Nice little brand you can make from it.
So cool.
The person is getting an arrow with a red color.
Oh, let me see.
Best of luck.
Yo, you're getting an error there?
Yes, I did. So what should I
Undefined.
do?
I'll return the following errors. Tool use not found. Tools approximately. Can I see the? Oh wait, actually. Oh, you did this a few times and it didn't work.
Yes.
Oh, strange.
Is there a Wi-Fi problem or something?
No, it would be. Let's see. You wanted to create some scripts, right?
Yeah, yes, you just copy.
Okay, perfect.
I think.
Oh yeah,
I'll need your help here.
is it working now? Okay, yeah, okay. I think it might be. Yo,
It's
yes.
just going on and on for the same thing.
Oh really?
I've done this like 10, 100
Oh no. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see.
guys do this. I don't know.
Sorry. Wait. Can you?
It's in front of you there.
Oh, you may need to just check that box if you didn't do that just now.
But I don't want to.
Hey, wait. Oh, ongoing access. No, you don't need that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Already connected.
Yeah.
Okay. And then. Oh wait. Okay. Could you stop at that screen for a bit? File. Tech support. Hey man.
Hey, how are you?
So he reached after he did the Gmail integration connection.
Okay.
He reached this page, and then he's kind of stuck.
He's not able to continue.
Yeah. Oh wait.
No, but then last time also I did this, for example.
And then after this, it repeats. Wait. Is this
Repeat. I don't know.
enable?
what
Oh,
about
wait,
enable
this one's
notification?
still okay.
Notification. I don't want any.
Oh no, you can click it and then
You can
disable.
disable, yeah, don't allow. You can just put it on.
Oh. Oh yeah, you can close this.
Okay, now.
This is different. So you
Now
didn't see
you
this
also-
just
now
now.
you can just press the button.
Okay. Oh.
It was no, it was going back.
Yeah, because of the notification screen, right?
Which is why it kind of took me like so. It has three profiles now. One is my Gmail, two is unknown.
True, unknown, yeah.
I don't know what unknown is.
Because you added, it's like if you add the same one.
Because it was going back
Back and forth, yeah.
Hello. Do you have an error?
Apparently I do.
In which screen?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if Cleve could. So one thing I was looking for, right,
Okay.
was how was a platform that could retain my tonality of voice
Yes.
by write long form. Because I noticed that ChatGPT AI generally struggles to come up with ideas, but it's really good at encoding ideas into something concise, right? So I was wondering if Cleve had something like that.
Yeah.
So I was playing around. Yeah.
How do you go?
Was not entirely sure that.
Oh, by the way, you can kind of like close the ideas panel for now. That gives you a bit of space. Yeah.
UI though, it's very well designed.
Thank you. All right. So let's see.
Yeah, I think it was down here, right?
Okay.
Employee income number.
Is there a way
Okay.
to adjust or tweak the tonality?
So one thing that I would recommend you do is for specific context that you want it to really be careful of, like regularly use, you can create, for example, a posts category,
So I spent my time.
and then and basically just like create new. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So create new, and then just drop the reference material here. And the more reference material you provided, I mean, up to 5 or 6 basically. Then you can just kind of like drag and drop this into the chat as well. And then, yeah, it'll be able to reference that as well. And this typically gets me a lot better results. Yeah. Once it has that context of exactly how you write, then it'll try to assimilate that.
All right. So 3 and 5 ish before it carries like that heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just drag and drop. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll play around.
But when you were signing up, right? Wait, where do you want the post to be referenced from? Is it like your blog or your LinkedIn or?
I mean, I don't mind where I tried uploading one onto the platform just to see.
Application.
Oh,
Application layer.
It's just, it's a draft, right? So I
Okay.
don't have everything. in
okay.
one, But there's a bit of ideas here. I was wondering if it
Oh.
somehow captured the tonality, the ideas, and expose that into a concise form.
Go to something.
Hmm.
Without, because for example, ChatGPT tends to lose my tone of voice, right?
Okay.
That's it.
Leave, retain that.
You do that.
So
Yeah, so
wait.
can I see solving problems, building stuff,
Okay.
better finance. So, leisure needed it as well, achieving money.
Okay.
That's how it's like. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I want to, because I feel like there's something here.
Yeah, you-
I just don't see it just yet. Right?
Okay, that's cool.
So I need to play around to figure that one out.
So what I would recommend trying is like Sonnet is the best at tone reference. So then you can kind of like ask it to hey, referring to my tone here, extract one specific idea and write that out into a full post. You can try that prompt. Especially since this is like a really long piece. It's just like
Yeah,
a few posts or
one post that I wrote on a longer sort of.
long form. Okay, cool. So yeah, here you can be like, hey, extract one specific idea from this so that I could post it on my LinkedIn or my TikTok.
Yeah.
And then like write out that script for me, but retaining the original tone.
All right.
Yeah.
I just instruct it then.
Yeah. Or you can say even like use my actual words, you know. And those are just some like techniques to get the model to pay attention.
What led you to making Cleve? Like, what was the genesis?
Yeah, so I think we're like a 5-person team trying to like post content everywhere and like and create enough hype about ourselves too. So like I think, but even before that, like I was running a personal branding agency for 4 years before that. So then we were creating lots of content for clients, and we saw that people were needing lots of content, especially in the social media landscape today. So that's also where we thought like, hey, how can we engineer like a much better solution that can make content creation a lot easier and reference tone and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. First branding agency. Who got you into the space? Was it like YouTube? Because I remember during that
Oh
time.
yeah. I mean, I followed like the Gary V's and like the Chris Does.
You ever heard of a guy named Levy?
Levy.
Yeah, Levy. He used to be Swedish military lieutenant.
Okay.
And he was a big guy in the agency space at the time, pulling in a lot of people. Haven't you heard of him?
No.
Right, well, search him up.
Yeah, I will. Super cool. Hey, thank you so much for coming. I'm good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah. You're here with a few people, right? Oh, shoot. Oh,
It's like just pointed out. It's like, why are you sitting next to me? You should very go spread out. Stand up. Like, shit,
cool. So are you guys in marketing as well?
He's incoming.
Oh,
Yeah.
incoming. Oh, shit. That's cool.
Someone join 2 weeks from now. But I think she's gonna want to join us next week now.
Interesting. Okay. But yeah, for Swipey's use case specifically, what I would do is upload a bunch of the past posts that you want tone reference on. And then also, as you are thinking of your strategy across all your social media, your landing page iterations, even your current website, like just ask AI to extract all the text from your current website so that you can do like iterations on that. The same goes for your brochures, your sales decks, pretty much all of this stuff. You can kind of like get the model to like save all of these things in different folders and then like drag and drop to reference these things over and over again. Yeah, as you want to tweak and iterate. Yeah, one use case for this, especially that I use, is like from B2B sales, you want to personalize every single deck to every single customer. So especially enterprise. So what you can do is just have a sample deck from your previous deck, all the content inside it, and then drag and drop and be like, hey, can you do an iteration of this for this specific customer? Do additional research on this customer first. And we have Perplexity integrated into this as well. So it'll be able to pull the web and do the research in real-time data. And then it'll just tailor that deck to your needs, basically. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, have a play around. No problems. Yeah. Yes. So I use. Okay, I personally still do a lot of design manually because actually, ironically, because I'm a designer, so it's like very fast for me to design even manually. But if I wasn't, I think I would use a mix of Gamma. Gamma is a pretty good product, Canva as well. Yeah, but Gamma especially right now, which I'll show in a bit as well. Yeah, and then also Nano Banana for inspiration. But Nano Banana, yeah. Do you see the Anwar post?
I saw someone else, Joe Passing, something similar.
Yeah.
What are copying each other? Joe Passing was I think he was one of the guys who came in CEO one of the GLCs.
In Malaysia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did something basic the day after he posted it.
No, that's cool. It's a trend, like, and it's just a fun trend. I think in the US, everyone was posting it, of all the tech CEOs and stuff. So that's also where I got it. Because like pretty much everyone was posting it on Twitter. So then I just took it and like tailored it to Malaysian context in a bit. Yeah. But you can actually like paste that exact image and be like, hey, can you face swap this to me? Here's a picture of me, and then like, yeah, just a fun, fun thing to do.
It's not interesting.
Cool. All right, but yeah, thank you. Oh, it's okay. All right. So hopefully you've had a bit of time to think around with this stuff. All right. So right now, what we're going to do next is we're going to build some quick landing pages and also do a couple of the other creatives, right? So hopefully at this point you get the idea that this is going to be your knowledge base, right? This is going to be the one source of truth for all the different things that you're working on. And let's see. Okay, I think just doing some tech support over there. So over time, you'll just build up this knowledge base and you'll have more and more insights, more and more notes, more and more ideas, which you can then have the models reference. And one thing that I like to do is, like, for example, once you've built this out in detail, let's say I'm delivering. So I do these talks every now and then, right? And the way I've actually been preparing for all these podcasts and talks and stuff is I'd be like, hey, tomorrow I've got a talk on AI for Asia School of Business. Look through all my ideas and draft me so tomorrow I've got a talk on AI for Asia School of Business. Look through all my ideas and draft me an outline that would be tailored to this company or to this. Yeah, just be careful when you're closing that door. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so basically what it's going to do is it's going to run a search across pretty much all my LinkedIn posts, all my notes, so 2,000 plus notes, and it's going to just surface ideas that I could talk about. And you can see over here, so AI for business beyond the hype. So every week there's dozens of launches. Your credibility, we want to check. Okay, yeah. So as your search that I wrote down before. And yeah, so context engineering, etc. So yeah, you can see that it's kind of like picking out all these ideas that I've talked about and helping me repurpose this. So now if, for example, I want to turn this into a full script, So then it'll just kind of like take those ideas and then like generate the script. And what I like to do is actually on my drive to panels or to events, I would actually take the script and I would just listen to it and have AI read it out to me. So then I get like this idea, and that's how I literally mentally prep for everything right now. So honestly, I don't think anymore. No, I mean like. So everything you see here, everything that I've ever said in the last 2 months, and I'm actually a humanoid. This is based on this knowledge base. Yeah. We're going to look at a couple other tools. And we're going to have a bit of fun with these. Cleve. So if you ask Cleve, hey, can you look at all the latest news? And hey, can you look at all the latest news that might be relevant to me? It'll do a perplexity search that might be relevant to me. It'll do a perplexity search, which is kind of like an AI tool that helps with these agentic tools, but built for developers. So I wouldn't touch too much on those. And fun fact, if you have an aspiration to become a YouTuber for some people in the room, or if you are a startup founder or a business owner and you want to create, like, for example, but it also allowed, because I think we were getting a lot of traffic to Luma, and then Luma started kind of boosting the event quite a bit. But yeah, basically this was generated with Google's Nano Banana Pro model, which I'll show you in a bit. And even this one, which was a diagram of an entire like data operations system, whatever that is, was generated with Nano Banana Pro. So let's say, for example, you have a product and you're trying to explain what it is. You can ask Nano Banana Pro to actually generate visualizations for your solution slide when you're trying to explain what you do and stuff like that. And this can be really impressive. So let's do a quick demo of this one as well. Oops. Okay, cool. So just go to Gemini, and you can do this along with me as well. So just go to gemini.google.com. Click the plus. Oh wait, okay. Click the tools button, and then click create images. And then make sure that you have the. Wait, is that still here? Oh yeah. Okay. So make sure that you have the Model Pro. And then now you have, basically this is Gemini's best image model. And it is pretty much the best image model in the world right now, right? So you can ask it to generate, for example, let's do someone from the crowd. Okay, so anyone running a business here? There were a couple of you just now. Okay, yeah. Can I know your business website?
Secretservings.com.
Secretservings.com. Okay. Okay, so if anyone's looking for a date, by the way, so secretservings.com. So you can kind of copy this link, head over to Gemini, and then drop this link in, and you can be like, hey, can you help me, for example, design, is there anything that you actually need designed? Like, can you just give me assume I'm your marketing guy?
Next event is with pet companies, possibly. So it's going to be a pet dating event. So I need to post it.
Okay, design a poster for our next event, which is a pet dating. Wait, pet dating event.
The next dating event is like collab with a pet company.
Oh,
It's pet,
pet owners. Okay. I think pet dating might be another concept that you can explore in the future. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do, and this is the most important part, right? I'm going to just take a screenshot of your current website, and I'm also going to drop that into Gemini. So it has reference of exactly what your design style and your brand is like, right? And now I'm going to just send. So this will take a while, but basically it's going through the website, it's researching, and then it's also doing that whole image generation process. Image generation, by the way, is like super duper expensive. So yeah, Gemini is offering like quite generous free tier. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm not sure if it's free. I mean, I am on the pro tier. Anyone who uses Google for their company is probably on the pro tier as well. So you get access to a lot of this stuff. But I think This should be available on the free share too. And here you go. So you've got like, okay, you've got a whole website actually.
See that and put the post in it.
Oh, I missed the talk. Oh, okay. Okay, but yeah, you can say like, hey, make it.
Was not there before.
Was it there?
Yeah, no, you see the website picture?
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So it added the dog and the cat.
It's not as nice, but-
There's two. Okay, that one looks a bit weird. But oh, there's one there. Oh, that's a pillow. Okay, that makes sense.
It's what she did the same thing.
Oh shoot. Okay, yeah, yeah. So you got a different variation of that. So then you can say, for example, okay, let's say, do you have an Instagram? Yeah.
Instagram. Oh, yes, that's the one.
Okay, so let's say, yeah, this is a good example. So let's do something like this instead. I'm gonna just drop this whole thing in. Oops. Oh, okay. Oops, more like this. Whoa, this. All right, let's see if we get a good pet owners dating. That's actually a really fun business, actually. It's good examples. Again, you really
Wow.
do not need to care about your typos.
That's not like
This is literally how I talk to AI all the time, by the way. Like people obsess about prompts. This is literally my kind of prompts. And yeah, this will take a bit of time. But meanwhile, we can kind of like open up, it'll be able to run in the background. So let's do another business. Any other business owners? Or people who are working in companies and you want to try it out? Yeah.
Working on a project right now, we can try it for that.
Okay, what's the project called?
It's regarding Pediasure. So we're working on Pediasure brand.
Pediasure.
It's infant formula. It's a growing up.
Oh shit, that's cool. How do you spell that?
PEDIASR.
Dot.
So for that, for website, I think you can just go abbott.com. Abbott. A-W-T,
Oh.
for the O-W-T.
ABB. This one?
So it's a parent company.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Let me see if
So that's the challenging part, right? So for Pediasure, how do you make it cool with this website, which is super boring?
okay.
Make it cool for young moms who can then relate to the Pediasure for their children.
I don't know if do you have that somewhere in here?
I see this video show adding links.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we have some context. Basically, what I'm looking for is just some context.
It's generally of course medical brands as well, but now that's the challenge we're facing. So
Okay.
It's more organic growth within the brand. The parents, young parents are going back to old traditions. They're not picking up these scientific brands like foundation.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah, maybe one thing that might be useful for this brand is like maybe you guys could create like, where is it? That's the one. Maybe you guys could create an infographic that kind of explains it better and appeals to a younger audience and is more fun and stuff. So let's try that. Make an infographic. Oh, wait, is it running? Oops. Create images and then, okay, I think it's already, never mind, we'll just wait for that. Meanwhile, let's check on our pets. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, we got the connection series with with all the same pets joining you guys for dinner. But yeah, in this case, it's also referencing the original material very closely. So one thing about Gemini, and this is one challenge, whenever it tends to keep referencing the same material too much, you want to open up a new chat and then start over. Because Gemini is great at character consistency and reference, but the problem is it's all nuanced, right? When you're so good at character consistency and reference, then you end up with the same thing over and over again. So this is the let me zoom out a bit. So yeah, this is the new poster that I created for your Instagram. Oh, and included the join now, 200 ringgit for the plot. Yeah, and some details as well. Design, feed that design into whatever website editor you're using. So if you are editing with Cursor and Quad Code for the developers, you can just basically copy and paste that design in. And this is actually how we do a lot of our UX. We actually generate images of the UX rather than asking the coding agents to work on the UX, and then we copy and paste the images reference. So this is the infographic. So Pediasure with the little superhero caves. You've got the fussy eating hurdle. Okay, and then okay, so honestly, this is my first time learning about Pediasure, so it's like actually kind of cool. So you've got the fussy eating hurdle, and if you want to build muscle and bone and get immune defenders, you get Pediasure, and then here you have brain boosters, complete growth fuel, and you have kids who are growing really quickly. So anyone who has a kid who wants the kid to grow faster, right? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, you can probably check out Pediasure. But yeah, so also some details, including Abbott, the logo.
You could have taken a different prompt to get the output more in a creative sense rather than as a banner. So this is more like a banner.
Okay.
If we were to change this within one try, what dif- what would be different in what we did? Like prompt would be different. Website we can't change, right? So when you're saying that prompt
Okay.
is not that important, let's say we were to change or to have a different output, which is a little bit more aesthetic, and
Okay.
think the younger moms, which is you can say not Gen Z, like pre-millennial moms.
Okay.
Right?
So if you are from a creative design background, what you can do is give more specific instructions as to exactly what you want. If there's, for example, neo-minimalism or some very specific thing, grunge or brutalist, then you can give that to the model. If you are not from a creative design background, you can go to Pinterest and or go to other websites, your competitors' websites, and just kind of take a screenshot, give that as reference material. So if you are a designer, again, this is also one thing about AI, right? If you have existing skills without AI, you get amplified significantly when you have these tools, right? So for someone who's a designer might look at this and be like, no, that's absolute crap. The illustration design should be a lot more minimalist. We should have single line vector images or something like that. I'm not that good of a designer. And then yeah, we don't want this cheesy stuff. We want yeah. So you can kind of give it that feedback, and also just provide more reference and have the models regenerate based on reference. So I would say reference is the thing that I use the most. So I'm not a designer. I just copy and paste whatever I like, screenshot it, pass it to the model, and be like, hey, I want it to look like this, and it generally performs really well at that. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's see. We've got a bit more time, so we're gonna go over. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. I should have assumed it was the first tab. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, so if you're doing slides, so all these slides, for example, were actually drafted with Gamma, and Gamma actually has a Google Slides export. So one thing really cool, so Gamma is a slides AI tool. So especially for those of you who have sales teams or you're pitching for anything and you need to create slides often and edit slides very often, especially, you can actually import your Google Slides into Gamma or your PowerPoint slides into Gamma, and then ask it, hey, can you make an edit of this based on my brand, right? Sorry, based on this specific client that we're trying to approach. So let's do a really quick example of that. Oh yeah. I would recommend. You don't need, it's free as well. You can try it out for free. Oh yeah, you guys can do this along with me as well. And also for that nano banana example, you can do that too. Oops. Okay, so we're just gonna go to gamma .app, and what you'll see is basically, let's see. Okay, it's taking a bit of time. Ah. Okay, there you go. So just create new. So when you open Gamma on your own stuff as well, you can just click create new and then paste in text. Or so in this case, there's a few options. You can import a file for your existing documents or even for your existing web pages. Actually, let's try that out. So then you can import from URL and then just paste the URL of your company website or any website. So in this case, I'm just going to drop someone else's business. Anybody? Okay, Swipey it is. So we're going to go to swipey.co. And we're going to click import. And basically, it's just going to extract and build a sales deck based on your website in a couple seconds. And then from there, so this will be initial draft of your entire sales deck, right? And what I can do is, okay, look at the homepage, yes. What would you like to create with this content? So Gamma does help you create other things too. I'm going to create a presentation. And then I'm going to click continue. It's going to draft an initial version of this first. Okay, cool. So we've got, okay, so text content, yada, 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 that looks fine. You can paste in, oh, okay, so it's just extracted the entire website. It looks a bit messy here, but it doesn't matter. AI is good at messy. And then additional instructions. Okay, cool. So this is the bit. Is there a client that you're trying to pitch? No, I'm joking. Is there a, let's see, maybe someone you've already pitched to and you've already closed and it's like on your website? Oh, wait, actually, I could just look at that, right? Yeah. Dome. Oh, okay. Sales deck for Dome. Okay, great. Let's see how it does. It's not my app, by the way. If it's bad, it's their problem. Sales deck for Dome Cafe. So you can generate 10 cards for free, and then okay, yeah, that's fine. And then hit generate. Actually, what I realized what I probably should have done is give more context to what Dome Cafe is. But let's see. But yeah, you can add kind of like more context and then like have it personalize the deck. Oh, in this case, because it's using, so this is like Cleve's brand style. So it's copying the same brand style that I put in before, but you can totally change this to your own brand and it'll actually create on-brand decks in seconds. And yeah, you can see it generating it on the spot. Do you guys have 15,000 monthly customers? Is that, no? Okay, it's okay, you do now.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, is it? It is. Okay. It got confused there. They might have, yeah. Why partner with Dome Cafe? Okay, well let's have a look at the deck for Dome in that case. Actually, no, let's go back. I'm not satisfied with this. Oh, sales deck for Dome. Okay, I can see why it made that mistake. Let's see. Oh wait, where did the spiking? Oh, okay. Oh, I think it's loading. So sales deck for Swipey tailored for Dome Cafe. Okay, let's try that instead. Okay, good. And generate. Okay, this should be more like it. Swipey for Dome Cafe. There you go. Modern expense management designed for growing food and beverage. What was that? For growing food and beverage businesses. Does that sound about right? What you guys do? Okay. The challenge for growing cafe chains: receipt chaos. Managing supplier invoices, staff expenses, and petty cash is really hard. Time-consuming reimbursements, staff waiting for expense reimbursements. Oh, by the way, for context, Swipey is like a expense management platform. So you can give everyone like a Swipey card, and then they can like pay I hope I'm pitching that right. But yeah, they can kind of like pay for stuff in your company. So you've got problem, and then one platform, complete control. So IP combines corporate cards. Oh, there you go. You got even like okay, expense, sure. Invoice payments. You can replace this image with your own as well. And then smart Visa cards for every team member. Individual control, zero hassle. Actually, this explains it better than I did. Built for cafe operations. And then if you present this, by the way, it goes into this really nice animated layout as well. So real results from food and beverage leaders, speed home. Not a food and beverage leader, but Invoke managing expenses for 120 plus team members. Save time, save money. Your funds are secure with Bank Nagara regulation, HSB protection. So you've got that trust slide, and you've got that get started slide in 3 steps.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. For a first try, it's pretty good.
Okay, come on, guys. Okay, sorry. But yeah.
Maybe the whole existing deck and other sales.
Yeah.
Junction with it. You could like scrape the website to plug the contacts there. I think website was 6 months behind what we were leaving.
Okay. So yeah, so try it out. I think this is like the fun of it, and all of this is designed with our brand guide currently, but you can onboard your own brand guide and everything will be custom. And especially when you have an existing deck and you want to tailor it, that's where this gets really, really effective in making those quick tailor edits fast, and you don't have to spend the whole night right before the sales call doing that, which is what I pretty much do all the time before. Yeah, so that's Gamma. And then let's see. So yeah, Gamma is great for visuals. You can also do image generation stuff, and pretty much everything on that website you saw just now was editable. So you don't have to worry about, like, in Nano Banana, if you generate an image, you can't really edit it. In Gamma, you can. So that makes it really useful. And then for websites and blogs, okay, so personally, what we're using internally is we actually have all of our team onboarded on our code base, and all the designers on the team and people who are actually not technical, including myself. We've actually been pretty much vibe coding our website. So everything you see on Cleve.ai is pretty much vibe coded with Claude Code and anti-gravity, Gemini 3 and stuff. So for the people who are running tech startups, especially, I think it's a good experience to onboard your design and marketing team into your code base. You can even make it a separate code base so they don't like mess up your actual code. And they can be committing PRs of all their changes that they're making. And very, very quickly, because AI code generation is so good, you can get really, really good results really fast. And you can deploy for free on platforms like Vercel and stuff. So it's actually pretty amazing. But what I will show you guys on more simpler tools today is like Lovable. So actually what I'll do instead is, let's see, let's go to, oh yeah, Gemini. Yeah, so Google AI Studio. So you guys can all open this up on your own laptops as well. So Google AI Studio, just Google AI Studio. And then over here, from that brand guide that you had just now from ChatGPT, which you probably have pasted into Cleve now, you can just copy and paste that. Did I do it here? I think I did it here. Yeah. So you can copy and paste that brand guide. And this is how you're utilizing that context over and over again, right? So you copy and paste that brand guide, just literally just drop it raw into Gemini AI Studio. And then just add a line at the end that says, hey, build a landing page. Build a landing page. Oh, yeah, marketing for this. I'll just make that a bit bigger. Oh, yeah. So yeah, basically after you just paste your brand guide, and don't worry about it being messy, don't worry about it, all this other stuff here. Okay, maybe you can remove that. But yeah, so build a landing page. Okay, marketing landing page for this, but yeah, I don't care. So I'm gonna hit build. And then in a couple seconds, basically you get a full-blown website. And this is for free, so you can all kind of just use this for free and try it with your own brand guides. And if you are working on your personal brand, this is a really quick way to build your personal brand website in a couple seconds, right? And then you can put all your links there, and it's like, yeah, really useful. This does take a bit of time though, because it is generating all the code, and you can actually edit the code later, by the way. But yeah, it is actually generating all the code from scratch. And I personally highly recommend for everyone who has a website, and for example, maybe you're using WordPress or something right now, you can actually move your existing website over to code, whether it's Lovable. So Lovable is another tool in this space. While it's generating, I'll just show you that as well. Lovable.dev. Their free tier isn't as generous as Gemini AI Studio, so that's why I'm getting you to try Gemini AI Studio. But I think Lovable actually has done a lot of UX things that makes it really, really great for marketing websites. So I'm going to just paste that same thing. Actually, maybe let's do another business actually. Anyone else's companies, you can just kind of like raise your hand. Let's just try redesigning the website.
Otherwise, can try Pediasure.
Pediasure?
Oh
Oh wait, the one just now.
You said the design was very bad, right? Might as well try and
Sure.
do it.
Oh wait, but the thing with Pediasure is there isn't enough context available because it doesn't have an existing website. So ideally, someone who has an existing website. Oh wait, really? Cool.
Sure.
Oh. Oh wait, so this is like a well-known brand.
Yes, yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Still some there when I was small.
I need to become a parent, man. So redesign this website. Actually, one thing you can do is even import the existing website so you can continue editing it in Lovable. Right. Auth walls. Okay, let's do, yeah, sure. So for all of these, okay, so we've seen this one. So this is my personal website based on my personal brand just now. I wouldn't call myself high empathy yet, but yeah, good effort. Oh, it actually generated the brand guide instead of the website. So you may need to specify that this is a landing page, not for the brand guide, but for my personal website, right? But yeah, this might be useful for me to reference actually. So core identity, the guide, essence, okay, blah, blah, blah. So basically just converted that text document into a website. It's like, I can just be like, hey, actually, I just wanted a personal website for ashvinpraveen.com. Oh, damn, it's still, wait, yeah, send. Yeah, so sometimes the models don't get exactly what you want, and then you just kind of like give feedback. Let's check out the Lovable one meanwhile. Got it. Oh, wait, did I miss something? Oh, darn it. Okay. So that'll take some time too. So one thing I recommend doing, especially if you have an existing website and you want to try starting to leverage AI to, for example, let's say you want to do A/B tests on your existing website. Like you don't know what your messaging is going to be. So you can regenerate your existing website in tools like Lovable and then ask it to generate a new homepage based on this existing website. And change all the features and benefits to make it more optimized based on your brand guide, which you can also attach, or based on your latest sales intel, right? Based on your latest sales transcripts, insights. You can then ask it to, hey, regenerate website. Then you wouldn't have a website that gets outdated 6 months before you re-edit it, right? So that's one way you can do this. Okay. And yeah, okay, wait. So this is still working on it as well. So yeah, you guys can try it out on your own as well. I think, has everyone already got theirs? Yeah, you can also share it with each other and like kind of like discuss this a little bit.
I think I was
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a bit. But yeah, so that's the whole idea with websites especially. So we are nearing the end of the session. So the last idea is like basically comes back down to this. So whether it's landing pages, we saw all the different tools that you can use to generate assets across your images, your videos, your landing pages, all your social media content as well, for all your founder brands, as well as all your company brands. You can do this for your blogs, your product marketing and videos and stuff like that. But all of that does come down to documenting your insights first. So one other thing for Cleve is we do also have a mobile app where you're able to just, it's like a note-taking tool, exactly like Apple Notes. So you basically can just save ideas on the go. It has voice transcription as well. So one thing I like to do is every morning I transcribe whatever I'm thinking on that day. So this is my high-level strategy, things I want to do in the business, events that I want to run. I would just transcribe that and then like just continuously save these notes, my reflections and stuff like that into the same note-taking space. And I can finally have AI to like do that processing of all these insights and turn it into useful outputs for my business. And that's also how companies, you've seen in the US, there's been a bunch of companies that are scaling from 0 to 100 million to 9 billion, 10 billion. Recently, Cursor, within 3 years, they raised at a 30 billion valuation. And they still have tiny teams, and they're all executing with these kinds of techniques, leveraging context, leveraging lots of context engineering to be able to execute really, really fast and really impressively, despite having a tiny team, right? So that's the core idea that I'll leave you off with today. And also, you can use code by marketing to get 1 month free on Cleve. So this gives you access to, thank you. Yeah, so this gives you access to basically all the AI models. So this, by the way, use this code on the web version, not the mobile version, because it doesn't work on the mobile version. But yeah, so on the website, just check out on the starter plan and then just add the code by marketing. This gives you access to pretty much all the models. So Gemini, Claude, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT like GPT-5 within Cleve as well as Perplexity, which is all $20 each. So that's like 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, you get the idea, right? Yeah. So I think that's about it for today. And this is generated with Nano Banana as well, of the KL Skyline. And yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions or any other things on top of this. We will do a bit of a feedback Q&A session right now. But yeah, my link, my email is just Ashvin@Cleve.ai, though I am a lot more responsive on LinkedIn and Instagram at just my name, Ashvin Praveen. Yeah, so yeah, thank you all so much, and let's do a quick Q&A. Yeah. Yeah.
Post multiple times in a day, but will be punished for not performing well in the postings.
So if you are posting and getting like 100 views on every single post every single time, yes, you will get penalized for that, because the social media algorithms will see that as like spam basically, and you're just kind of like trying to game the system. So what you want to do instead, okay, so there's this whole quality versus consistency thing. If you have the option, if you have to make a choice, I would say quality beats consistency. And this is actually not me. This is like Alex Ramosi, who has like 12 million followers. He says this. So quality beats consistency. So you can post like a few quality posts, like once a week, if that's a cadence that works for you, or like once every 2 weeks. That's better, right? Spend a bit more time on that post. Just produce that one post. If you can do quality posts at a twice a day frequency, and this is maybe like a slight drop in. Oh, by the way, this is something that I actually do, right? So leading up to this event, I've posted pretty much every day, twice a day for the last 4 days. Oh, this kind of applies for most channels actually, from our experiments, but LinkedIn especially. Yeah. I mean, LinkedIn is the one that we've got most data on. Yeah.
But if you are not very good at the first place, so you gotta keep posting shit posts.
So I wouldn't recommend doing twice a day when you're just starting out. Yeah. Put in the effort. I think even though I'm posting twice a day, I do kind of like make sure that I'm doing the quality control on my post to make sure that everything is insightful, useful, whatever. But yeah, so just try to keep your own quality bar. I don't have the exact same quality bar that I used to have when I was posting like once a week. Now that I'm posting twice a day, for example. But even if you can drop that bar slightly, but you're doing more volume, that's great too. Yeah, so just kind of play around with that. But don't go all the way down to just like shit posting and like trying to get results. It wouldn't work. Yeah, it'll damage your brand if anything. Yeah.
Getting leads, like high number of leads of weekly posts or daily posts, twice a day.
So I thought that I would drop in performance, but yeah, I did this twice a day thing for like 2 weeks a few months ago as well. And yeah, that was my highest performing period on LinkedIn, like highest growth rates and stuff across, not just like even the leads and inbounds that came in from that was actually pretty significant too. So yeah, I think it really doesn't really matter. The social media platforms don't really care as long as you're posting value and you're like trying to create value in everything that you do. Yeah, and sharing useful things. Yeah. Yeah.
Any tips on UGC using AI? Something like what Lizzie does with all her, professional LinkedIn posts. What does she do to videos?
The videos.
The videos she does.
Oh, like the real, the
Maybe I'll tell you. Do you have any tips for making reels?
what do you mean by UGC?
User generated.
Yeah.
If your video, for example, one way you do highlights for that with stuff, do you use AI or is it?
No. Okay, the only AI part about it is the script that I wrote. I of course use Cleve. But I would say you cannot rely on the first output. You still have to like do your own edits. But I actually spent so for anyone interested in Reels content, I actually spend the most time on the script itself. The script determines I would say at least like 70% of the output. And of the script, the first 2-3 seconds are the most important. So the hook I revisit a lot of times. And it is not an easy process. Sometimes I recorded the voiceover and I start editing it. I'm like, shit, this is not good. When I hear it, like it doesn't feel right anymore. So then I go back to rewrite the script. So it is a bit tedious process. You have to like train yourself in terms of the storytelling. But I would say don't sweat too much on the editing. The editing comes last. What you want to focus on is the script. Yeah, I hope they answered your question. Yeah.
I want to add a little bit to what Lizzie was saying. I've been kind of observing how she uses Cleve and like AI in general. She would have her script on that canvas, right? And then she's really, really anal about like every single detail. So she would ask the model, hey, I'm not satisfied with this hook, generate 10 more, right? 10 more variations of this. And then like just going through that process over and over again for even like up to 1 hour or 2 hours for that one script and just making sure that everything is dialed in. But you kind of like leverage AI to do a lot of the ideation, but even for working on that one piece. So this is where I think some people assume that when you see AI in marketing, it's about creating like 100 posts a week kind of thing, right? And you're using AI to just create like crazy. I would highly recommend trying to use the models to create one post that does 100x what you would normally do through these kinds of techniques of like learning from psychology. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just want to add a little bit more about that point. So something that I found particularly useful when using AI to generate content is like what Ashvin said, you don't generate the whole thing in one go. Whether you're using Cleve or using ChatGPT, you have to do it step by step. So you feed it your rough ideas first, like the most raw notes, just dump it in and say, organize this, like help me find the main point. So that's the first thing you do. And then the next thing you do is what I do at least is I tell it to, okay, this is a decent point. I want to turn this into a draft, but don't give me the full write-up. Give me a content skeleton. So it writes in the bullet points. And then once it writes in the bullet points, you kind of like have a quick look. This is decent. Ask it to turn into a draft. And then once it turns into a draft, then I'll paste my writing style, which I save on Cleve. I just drag and drop and say, this is my writing style. Now turn that into a writing style. It does better when you do it step by step. It jumps the thinking process. It skips the thinking process when you try to do it in one shot. So I try to do it in these steps and the result is usually very good. Yeah, so that's my personal experience.
Can you talk about your results a bit, just for context?
I mean, I only started creating Reels content, I think like seriously this year. And that was like a lovable event that I went to and then I created content about it. It was written, the script was written using Cleve. Of course, like I had like a bit of wrestling with it. And then I posted it. I didn't actually expect it to perform, but it kind of went viral everywhere I posted it. It went viral on X, it went viral on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn as well. So that was the first time I was like, oh, okay, so Instagram is actually not that saturated. Like even people like me who had 600 followers for the last 10 years of having an account could go viral all of a sudden. So yeah, that was my experience. Yeah, if you guys want, you can just go check out the video to like get a feel of like what I mean. Yeah. Happy to chat about any content stuff if you guys want.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, it was very interesting because like I think with TikTok and Reels, I think the biggest thing was actually the copywriting. Like the difference between 100K or a 200K video and 1K or like a few hundred views video is really all in the first 5 seconds. Like, and spending the time to really try to nail that and think through the psychology of it. Cool. Other questions?
for your posting methodology every day, is there specific times that you need to be posting? I know that certain people are only on LinkedIn at certain times, maybe on their lunch break or something like that. Do you also factor that in, or is it just as soon as you wake up, click post?
Okay. So, a really great question. So on posting timings, so I've done a bunch of experiments on this. Generally, if you're not posting that often, like, and if you have a smaller account, I would recommend like aiming for that 9 to 10 a.m. window. Generally, that on Mondays to Fridays, that generally seems to work. Though recently, LinkedIn's content has been very long tail. What that means is like even 2 weeks after a post is posted, the performance of that post will continue increasing. And it's not like, the moment you post it, whoever's on that platform at that moment will see that post. LinkedIn is kind of prioritizing quality over time-based factors, unlike Twitter, which is very time series based, right? And Instagram. So yeah, like I would honestly nowadays I post most of my posts at 3 a.m. I have a bunch that like 4 p.m. on a Sunday. Like it really does not really matter that much. What I would spend a lot more effort on than all these things like posting consistency and even like optimizing your hooks based on what's performing in the market. Like I would spend a lot more time on thinking about what do you want to post, and the content that you share will have a much bigger impact on whether or not that post performs on any channel. Although maybe, but that's especially for LinkedIn. That's the channel that I'm most familiar with. For Instagram, TikTok, I think you generally try to optimize for like, what was it, the 12 p.m. window? I mean, but still, again, not that much data, but yeah.
I'm not too sure about this one, but from the couple of content that really perform for me, what I see is that the likes and the views come in no matter the time.
Yeah.
But we still try to post at the optimal. Like we
You just try.
But like what Ashvin said, it's pretty long tail. And the viral video that I had, it was posted like a month ago, but in the last couple of days, I still got like a few thousand views. So it is still growing. It's very long tail. And this is not just LinkedIn. This is the same for TikTok, for Instagram. Generally, the trend is getting longer and longer. So even if your content you posted the first 2 hours is not performing, it doesn't mean that it's not going to go viral. Because what happened for my viral video was the first 2 hours it was dead. On Instagram specifically, the first 2 hours I got 200 views. I was like, this post shit. And then I just went for dinner, and then the next time I look at it, it was 3,000. So it takes a while. So it's not going to be instant. So yeah, it will continue to grow over time. Yeah.
Yeah, in general, across social media, they tend to be prioritizing the, what's it called? Yeah, long tail, high quality posts in general. Yeah. Cool. So, maybe one more question before we wrap up. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the main thing that we do differently is importing all your context and making context management a lot easier. So let's say you have all your scripts, your notes, etc. So Cleve understands a lot of these things, and it's like a writing space, not just like a content generation space, right? So from the way that Lizzie and I are using it, for example, for our own personal brands, we write all our content in Cleve. And then, for example, every time I'm generating a new post or I'm trying to work on a piece of content, it already has context. And we do a lot of engineering on the context management side, but it has all this context of everything that we've written before and who we are and what our audience is and all that kind of stuff. So you tend to get on brand more accurately and more consistently. And again, like, dragging and dropping the brand guide, reference material that you want to use regularly, that's kind of like a big bonus as well. Yeah. Cool. All right. But yeah, thank you again so much for coming. It's been a great night. Really enjoyed like all the questions and the interactions and also the stuff that you guys have been building. That's been really cool. If you have any feedback, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would really appreciate that. Or you can reply to the email that you've been getting emails from for this event. And we really appreciate to hear anything about that. And yeah, once again, like all the best in your content journeys and like, yeah, have a great night.